After defeating the vile lobster hunters menacing our coast, we still have a lot to do. The Cold War must be won. We must welcome everyone to Brazil, but first, we must, fix our economy. Can I attempt to make a few extra units, maybe, to hopefully placate my military? Because they're content with their army size, but it could be better. The military loyalty is going down still. Like, it keeps giving us these actions, but the war is over. Same with the Transandean stuff. To investigate the peasant leagues? Maybe. Our military is currently loyal, but how long is that gonna stay? Development edict, yes. Industrialization in here needs to increase, because it's atrocious currently. It wasn't even 8 in the morning. Samuel Weiner already regretted not leaving his suit in the car before setting out on the trail in the humid forests of the Guandu River, hours away from his beloved Copacabana. He also regretted going there himself instead of sending one of his many reporters who worked for him. But the lead was too juicy to let go. A man called his house early in the morning, claiming to be the one and only survivor of a group of homeless men who had been gathered to be housed by a government program. But instead of being taken to a shelter, they were taken to a clearing in the woods and executed by police. After evading his would-be executioners all night, the survivor called from a public phone to request a meeting with the famous journalist. Now, with mud on his hard-soled shoes, Weiner followed the man called Julio to the place where his supposed execution was to take place. As they approached, even the tropical forest couldn't contain the stench of the screech and screeching of the vultures. Perhaps Weiner hadn't wasted his morning after all. 4 bodies, all with their hands bound and gunshot wounds to the head, lay in a clearing. Weiner wished he had brought a better camera as he listened to Julio's description of the killings. His eyes widened as Julio talked about how one of the killers, called Inspector by the others, tortured the victims in front of everyone, as if he was teaching his fellow jackals torture techniques. It was as if he had struck gold. They were so focused on the scene that they did not notice a group of 3 armed men approaching them. "Citizens, I am Inspector Mariel Mariscot of the Civil Police. You are tampering with a crime scene. Leave or I will be forced to arrest you." Julio froze in place, shaken in fear of the inspector whose hand had rested on his gun. Weiner looked at them and smiled. He knew that if he had not been here, the scene would have ended differently. Oh, the Yasuda crisis. Japan's kind of falling apart, and that's okay. We don't mind at all. Pumped out some extra units. We still have below what we need. We need what? At least 3 more, so let's make 4. Don't have quite enough equipment for all of that, but that's okay. Hold competency tests and try and pass the Agrarian Reform or Agrarian Relief Act. Oh, test rounds. Okay, Fortress Bolivia is in development. We're pretty much arming him since they are pretty much my puppet. Yet they are a alliance state on us. Breaking news out of Guanabara province today, as Governor Carlos Lacerda dismissed his Secretary of Security just an hour ago. Sources close to the governor report his increasing anger with the secretary regarding the death of multiple homeless men who have washed up on the beach in Rio with seemingly little explanation. Detectives are currently treating the case as a homicide, though there are no suspects or people of interest in custody currently. The secretary's inability to solve this particular case has drawn Lacerda's ire, though no one truly knows why. It is not uncommon for murderers to go unsolved in Brazil's largest city, but it appears as if Governor Lacerda is focused on improving the murders clearance rate. When asked about the sudden firing of the Secretary of Security, Lacerda refused to comment on the firing, but mentioned the faithful servants of Guanabara will ensure that justice is brought to our fellow countrymen, and emphasized that Guanabara is for all of our brothers and sisters, rich or poor. Paperwork on behalf of the governor's office today was filed, detailing the creation of an independent investigation and a committee to assist the detectives in solving the particular murder. Political analysts expected to stick around to try and improve Rio's abysmal murder clearance rate and train both patrol officers and detectives to cut down on violent crime. How are things going then, Edna? All pretty good, Dad. I've been getting used to the way things work over at the Diputados. Django's been showing me the ropes, and I've been in touch with Tancredo here and there. Really? Good to hear that. You can trust the 2 of them. What's your newest project, by the way? I'll see if I can help you out with it. Oh, I was looking to strengthen the protections for women in the urban workforce. I'm sure you heard about all those workplace accidents in Sao Paulo, in Rio and whatnot, where men get what they need, but women aren't given a jot as much. Ah, that's a good idea, quite good. You want to get a hold of Lionel Brizola to help you with that, especially seeing as how that jackdaw in the Rio will likely screech at the top of his lungs at the prospect. Senor Brizola, that's a good idea. Not forgotten about him. Thanks, Dad. She has a potential. She might become president one day, who knows? Actually, I don't know if she can. I know Lacerda is a familiar name to me. I think he can become president. Do we go for union negotiations or do we wrangle with the ranchers? I do not know. Let's try and negotiate with the terrorists. Oh, this is where we make it happen, okay. Voting has not yet started, but I'm sure it will soon enough. The brief on Lot's desk painted a bleak picture for the dock workers. Each man received a monthly payment, a stack of Cruzeiro banknotes thinner than their abraded boot soles. Nearly every day at work was punctuated by a disabling accident, and the supervisors were rarely there to see it. It's depressing, isn't it, Mr. President? Quadro said, breathing out blue smoke. Is he vaping? I'd strike too. I'd go down there if I could as well. Then the only difference between me and them would be that I'd want to be there. Lot pushed the papers to the edge of his desk. I'm meant to infer that it won't go on for long, Ianyo. We could cut it short if we sent the police. I'm saying that this has become normal. If those workers have been putting up with it for years, they probably can't afford it to miss the pay. The owners don't want police because they think that panic their shareholders. But we have no reason to get involved either, Mr. President. If the negotiations go poorly, the fallout will rest on you. Please keep in mind that it's a squabble between employee and employer. It's not our problem unless we make it our problem. Quadros gilded across the office to loom over Dennis, who fit neatly within his shadow. Defense then, that's your field. How will we make ships if there's no one there to build them? That sounds like our business. Should be on my side, Dennis. You might have a stake in this farce. That's enough from both of you. I'll decide shortly. For now, you're dismissed. I will meet these strikers, yeah. We will negotiate with them. Because I feel like we'll get the better option if we are successful. I'll pump out some units. How are we looking now? They are content. We're still lowering our military loyalty slightly every time. If we get this final man on the field, maybe then they'll be happy. The air in the room was dense with cigar smoke and perspiration, and Lot finally understood how the dock workers felt stuffed in the hull of a ship. Perhaps that was part of their strategy. 20 men on either side of their dispute sat around the sticky table, which occupied most of the room. The president was crammed into a thatch chair at its end. Dock workers chewed tobacco and talked amongst themselves a bit before a gaunt man emerged from their numbers and hushed them, the strike leader. Before we begin, I'd like to thank the president for coming, especially given the opposition he must have experienced before he took this long journey here. Lot nodded as men around the table puffed their cigars, and the room was filled with smoke. We have every reason to listen to each other. Now, Mr. President, I'll be blunt. We'd prefer if you heard us over our bosses. We want 10% raise to our pensions and a 6% raise to our minimum wage. If we agree on this, the strike will stop by tomorrow morning. Lot did not let his face betray his doubt. Those numbers threatened his government coffers, but they might not be as costly as the fury of the oligarchs. Simultaneously, he was unsure how long the strike could drag on, and how the actions would cost him, and how much it would cost the dock workers. It was like rolling dice, but if he haggled skillfully, he might be able to contain his expenses, or perhaps Lot could win the game by not playing. And yet, there was a feeling he could not evade respect. Behind these men was calloused hands, were families who depended on them. Their strike was not selfish or risk-free, and he could send them all home to happy families if he opened his wallet. I mean, honestly, I want to give them what they want. Those motherfuckers deserve their, solid-ish pay, because it's probably not that much, let's be fair. Even after that raise. Mr. President, what proceeded you open our treasury to those workers? Good afternoon, knaves. I'm assured it was the quickest way to resolve the dispute and get them working again, and an excellent way to undermine investor confidence and induce economic confusion. Those assurances weren't from Dennis, I'm certain of that. It was a decision I made, not Quadros, and if a little confusion is consequence of something that must happen, then it's better we resolve it sooner. And now I have a similar problem. I need to find the quickest way to get out of the way to my office. Okay. Why is our relation with Quadros worse, because I feel like I guess I'll improve their relation again. Lower it back, because I feel like their relation should be better, because we went for the same thing. Let's hold the vote. Cannot be cancelled manually. No! I'll load up the autosave, because I need to save up some PP to do that. Oh, I actually meant to press the mill one now. I'll give them their pensions. Sure. Now let's do some tax raises. Oh yeah, this will increase the support for the Agrarian Relief Act. Perfect. It'll cost me political power, but I'll go through the economic tree first, then before I hold the vote. Maybe 10 more, in fact. No one in the UDN can be convinced. None of these motherfuckers can be convinced, apparently, to vote for us. I wonder why. But why is it fresh off the presses again? No. Counter pennies. I want to get rid of inflation. Oh, there's corruption on the Trans-Amazonian Highway. God damn it. Could you not? It's taking so long to build anyway. We're only a third of the way there. The Dominican Republic contested influence. Oh. We can influence them next, hopefully. This decreases our interest. This increases our interest rates, but also decreases our inflation sizably. Encourage migration here again, so this develops a little bit more. Murder most foul. Report said on Lot's desk. This, in and of itself, was an extremely regular occurrence. Reports on all kinds of things, from the doings of foreign tyrannies to the latest Sao Paulo flab du jour, found their way onto the desk of the president all day, any day. But this was something different, something much more problematic. In the headwaters of the Aripuana River, exactly on the 11th parallel south, a firm had been collecting rubber. They were natives of the Sintalarga tribe, apparently, that lived in the village in the area. They had probably done so for generations, but one fine morning, the head of the local rubber firm wanted to remove the villagers. He claimed to his goons that the Indians were parasites, shameful pests, and vagabonds, and resolved to exterminate them. So that is what he did, brutally. So brutally, in fact, that even some Nazis and Japanese a lot knew of might blanch in horror and disgust. 500 people dead. We will bring him to justice, you got them right. Oh, they're satisfied now, okay. That's good. I guess it needed some time to reestablish themselves. More inflation reductions, but GDP growth also lowers. We'll still have 6% growth, but yeah, it's not great. The matter of the PSD. Tancredo, what brings you here today? Neves smiled back, but his face became solemn as he began to speak. His friend noticed this. Enrique, it's the PSD, the conservatives. Oro and what have you. What's the issue with them? The rightists in the PSD are angry, Enrique. They think you've bent too much to Goulart and Quadros. The Dockworkers crisis is a case in point. They're angry with you that you didn't do enough to consult with them. And for all that I don't like some of them, they're right. You need to do more about their opinions, Enrique. I am President Tancredo. I'm doing what is best for the country. They need to have faith that I will be able to preserve our democracy and prevent a political disaster. I understand that. You know I have faith in you, but you really need to talk to Auro Andrade, the rest of them. Alright, I guess I will. Let's put in some more, there we go. 1.2 monthly. That's actually the max as well. Let's increase population growth in here, because it's not that great right now. It needs to go up quicker. Paraguay's difficulty. Does that mean that we get to sway them to our side soon? I hope so. They're currently mostly under Argentinian control. Well, mostly unaligned, but power outages. Let's make some electricity happen then, eh? It'll take a couple of months, but we'll definitely need it. It's mostly because our GDP is kind of big boy. Let's industrialize the south as well. It was late in the day and most vendors were closing up. It had been a busy few hours for Yamila. That had been the case for a while now. Business was booming and it showed no signs of slowing down. Even as the year ate away at her face, Yamila had remained a respected matriarch within her community, moving from the owner of a watermelon vendor to a wise, eminent guide. We all know it's a matter of time before the good news surrounding our GDP is announced. Well, how will we celebrate? Perhaps we could give each a fruit a special name. I don't think that's a great one. Let's blast the anthem over the speakers. Find the right places and learn the words by heart. Too expensive, she thought. Fear confirming another person started running the cost of individual speakers. As more ideas began to float, Yamila sighed. Too many of them veered too generic, too lazy. Was it too much for this generation to even paint their pavilions green and yellow? Just as she turned to despair, another teenager took center stage and turned reflexively around. What if you buy some Brazilian frags? I know a local supplier who makes some, and if we head down soon, we should be able to go there without eating into his next shipment. It's simple, patriotic, but will help a business in the local economy. Nice. How long would the vote go? Do I have the time? It's 21 days. In no way I'm passing this in my current state. Maybe I'm not meant to pass it. At least our inflation is going down hard. And Adolf Hitler's died. I know. Power outages. I'm trying to fix it, man. I almost have the first one built. Oh, and there's the German Civil War. Oopsie doopsie. No, there's delays. Max yearly Trans-Amazonian Highway construction slows down by 1. How dare you? And with this, Neve's plans complete, we'll get extra GDP and GDP growth. Highly important. Needs to combat our ridiculous debt to GDP ratio that's climbing constantly. So tax hike. Some more austerity, please. The United States of Brazil joins its friends and allies in condemning the invasion of the free South Africa and supporting his defense. He began in lightly accented English. But why are we here? Not to deliberate, but to fight and accept our responsibility as free nations. We are here in an extraordinary show of unity and power. We are here to prove we are different from our enemies, ruling not by fear but with confidence. We do not accept dictates. We decide for ourselves. In the face of injustice, we stand strong. In Brazil, we know exactly where we stand down. Standing down leads. In 1939, our president stayed out of the biggest conflict of our time. Many thought that war wasn't ours, but our ships were attacked, our people were killed, and our veil of neutrality didn't prevent any bloodshed. We must learn from our mistakes as we did in the South Atlantic a long time ago. The enemy's bloodlust remains unchanged, and their goals of world conquest are no different. Alright, whatever you say, brother. Oh, the fascists move. This will update the focus tree. Hopefully I can fix this first. Let's go deal with the fascists next. National power out. I mean, I guess that makes sense. What we did. Brazil to the rescue. Lot coughed twice before speaking. Let's get this out of the way immediately. I intend to join the defense of South Africa against the Shield. To do any less is to allow fascists to control their campaign of murder unchecked. Or to continue their campaign of murder unchecked. Lot sat down at the head of the long meeting table. Dennis piped up first. I think I speak for the entire military high command when I say that we agree, Mr. President. We are already preparing an offensive against the Shield. So I recommend we get right into the planning. Is there no objections? Everyone around the table gave varying grunts of affirmation. All except one. Do you want the Germans to shoot our heads off of our necks? There's already a goddamn continent full of Nazis. Why antagonize them? Whenever Barry or whatever horse son wins their civil war, they're going to nuke us into paste. I object. Well, thank you, Janos. If there's nothing else, let's talk about planning. Ignore the madman. He's cuckoo. Let's also improve our relations again, huh? Oh, we can actually... Ooh, I did not realize. South Africa, we can actually put our boys in here. Or Operation Search and Destroy. Can we sell? Yeah, I guess we can sell stuff. Sell more armored personnel carriers. Yeah, I don't really need them. I don't want to buy stuff. Provide some assistance. Same in here. Gulf of Guyana and Angola Basin. We need ships there. So these two. Okay. We can do that. You guys go in here. You guys go in here. So some FBI contacts as well. Cannot send anyone in yet. Sadly. But I think eventually I will be able to. Have we not arrived in Guyana yet? Hello, motherfucker. I selected you both. There we go. Thank you. Let's blockade them. The PSD candidate's popular rise next election. Oh, that's not good. It's not who we want, right? Is it election time soon? No, not yet. Let's send our guns first and then our airplanes. Nuclear... What? How long do I want to take it? 10 years? The light bulb dangled in Lot's room. Crisis in Paraguay, Bolivia, Andean paradise in flames. Below zero, the scramble for Antarctica. They all worried him. He knew as a military man that you must be ready for anything. It could be a coup or even worse, a war. He had called the generals to his room for a reason. Everyone was here, even the newly appointed General Silvio Frota. There were no civilians. This was a military matter. Our nation will be dust if we do not protect it. You all know what Vargas had planned for the army. Nuclear weapons. The project was dismantled following his removal, though attempts for peace allowed us to continue peaceful research. Do you want to allow such a program to exist again? Said Dennis. Correct. When we first got deployed on the beaches of Cardiff, we saw what the Germans could do, and what they did. If at any point the Germans decided that Brazil should be destroyed, they could do it at the press of a button. Uruguay, Bolivia, Chile, they could all be made Argentinian puppets if they get the bomb first. If they don't get the bomb first, we will. If we don't get the bomb first, they will. A vote was held. Argentina's aggressive behavior shows that they cannot be trusted. The only way to prevent war is to build the atomic bomb before the Argentinians can. This will take us 45 months. 40 months, how many? That's what? 3 and a bit years? 5 billion! Should I just do it anyway? Fuck it. It's probably the dumbest thing I've done. But what if we get it very quickly? Because of this. There we go, send them some air support, and now we will send volunteers to hopefully help out South Africa. Alright, we are ready to send volunteers. In the meantime, let's hold the vote as much as it pains me. Do this. Do this. It's not quite enough. Lower the speed. We're closing in, but I don't think we'll make it. Maybe we're not meant to get them in. Are there any options in the foreign policy to increase the amount? No, we can only send 2 max, so I guess we'll send 2. The problem is we have garbage technology, so we can only send, like, garbage units. We don't have helicopter divisions that I love using in TNO, so we'll have to make do. And 1 air volunteer brigade. I guess fighters. We'll send them out. Where's the fighters? Those are, yeah, basic jet fighters. Have them do some air superiority. National emergency concerning South Africa? I mean, I don't think it'll be much of an emergency. The way I understand it, the OFN tends to win this most of the time. Oh, the PTB is already out. Damn it. 0 to 2. We're at 30. Oh, we're so close, man. I wish we could negotiate something. That's why I said you do not trust the communists. That's why we're here. We're looking out for your interests. This is a plan for Paraguay's liberals to dispose of the PCP once the revolution is secured. Sounds good. I hope there's an event in here or something. I want more support for the agrarian relief. An unexpected invitation. Quadros has had a letter on his desk. This, however, was no ordinary letter from a petitioner. It's from Lacerda's UDN. I've heard of some important information that is of great urgency and potential benefit to the Republic of Brazil. Accordingly, I'd deeply be grateful if you pay me a visit at my office in the next few weeks. Alright. We'll see what happens. These, like what, 6 units will be encircled soon? Damn it, we truly were set up to fail. Look at how close we are. If only we could negotiate with someone. But no one wants to. Cowards. Oh damn, we're running out of airplanes already. What the hell? Wait, what? His boots having found firm enough footing on the muddy jungle floor, Jake glanced at the platoon. The rainy wilderness of the Misiones, the northern corners of Argentina, was a far cry from placid Uruguay, where Che and his men had only a few days ago enjoyed mate and took in the sun. Despite the conditions, he was glad to be back in the field. The Paraguay adventure was what he was born for, what history demanded. The trek had not been easy. Even back on the river, there was more than one close call. The spotlights of Argentine patrol boats cutting violently through the night. It would have been impossible without the intel he received on the river Navy blind spots from the Brazilians. Though Che admitted that only begrudgingly. Castro had been different. He was a bourgeoisie, nationalist, and a son of a bitch. But he at least seemed to care for the people. Meanwhile, his current allies, the cloistered liberal exiles of Paraguay and the autocratic madmen produced in Brazilian military academies, were totally contemptible. Their mutual disdain was kept in check because Che was useful to them, or rather useful to their masters in Washington, and the Yankee struggle with that order mirrored eagle. Alright. A new page. The Bush War. This time for Paraguay. The world sure as hell is heating up. What do we want in here? The pariah state of South America has finally met its ultimate test. Their old enemies from the coalition of rebels, known as Fulna, have returned from exile with their guns loaded and knives sharpened as they prepare for a long-awaited insurgency to topple the regime in Asuncion once and for all. Oh, there's different kinds of decisions as well, okay. Do we want them to be liberal? Nationalist? I think we want them to be liberal, right? That's kind of the path that I'm going for. Also got 2% on our nuclear program. We're doing great. Let's become liberal, I guess. Decrease government control. Oh, we can. Oh, it's the same thing. We can only do 2 actions at a time. Okay, fair enough. Now let's focus back on South America, or South Africa, rather. Good evening, gentlemen. I apologize for calling this meeting so late, but this is a matter of national security. Dennis, please continue. Our sources indicate that the situation in Paraguay has escalated into chaos. The worst is yet to come, and our fears of a bush war have been confirmed. Men sat up. They analyzed the pictures scattered around the table and the various reports around them. Then they all stared at Lot for an answer, which is why we will not intervene openly. With our failure at Guaira Falls and the end of the Lobster War, we can't afford any more mischiefs in foreign lands when it doesn't really concern us. However, we will support our allies with covert means. Calm down, the speaker said. I agree with President Lot. We cannot afford foreign intervention at this time. Our intervention could inflame Argentina enough to escalate into a full-blown conflict, not just because of the Lobster War and the Guaira. I agree that direct intervention would be unwise at this time. However, I suggest the Second Army be mobilized and sent to the border in case things escalated. We will win regardless, though. Just barely. Also, our relationship is cemented. We are cooperative. Nice. So Quadros refuted Lacerda. His influence grows. The PSD candidates fall. Yeah, it does fail. Countryside riots. Yeesh. If only you motherfucker. I needed 2 votes, man. But no, they didn't want to give it to me. Cowards. No one wanted to negotiate. This is not my fault. This is their fault. Let's try and fix it a little bit. Calm down the countryside again. There we go. This has been cleaned up. Now let's go up north maybe. And maybe get Windhoek. Oh. No, I did not realize this is... Okay. My bad. There's multiple parts to this. Fuck me. Let's do something like this. Encircle this one troop as well. Oh yeah, keep blockading them. I kind of forgot that that was a thing. The Malagasy rebellion also wins? Okay. I think they go to Japan then, right? So it looks like it's a weak game for the Germans. Oh, can disrupt mobilization as well. Nice. I'll go to Windhoek. I'm running out of airplanes. That's not good. Okay, there's a second one in here. That's good. Can we really only make him nationalist? Come on, crush him already. He's almost dead. How's the tensions looking up in here? It's pretty tense. 55. Got 4% nuclear buildup. There we go. Fall of Windhoek. Perfect. Keep pushing him further and further. I really don't think they should be able to last that long. I understand your concern, Walter, said the U.S. ambassador with only the thinnest of smiles. But we'll be inviting Argentina to join the Organization of American States at the next available opportunity. Foreign Minister Walter Moreira Salles could feel his jaw tighten. To tack this onto an otherwise routine discussion at the embassy to show no willingness to budge, Moreira took a deep breath and said Argentina is a rogue state that will do nothing but disrupt OAS operations. To legitimize it like this, the ambassador cut him off. They'll have limited opportunity to disrupt anything. We're welcoming them only as a probationary member, no voting rights, and to your point on legitimacy, if we don't bring them into the fold, their only option are our foes. Washington would rather have a troublesome partner than an ally of Germania. Rome, Tokyo, on your doorstep. Brasilia feels similarly. Would appreciate your vote in favor of the next OAS conference. Very well, we already had the votes. Okay, we will abstain then. Stage a Bolivian border crash, why not? See what happens, eh? Oh, the Afrikaner Volksstad is dead, good. Do we rattle with our sabers? I mean, we could, I guess. Is Ondiva gonna be enough? Let's disrupt mobilization again. I hope this falls soon, though. I mean, it's dangerous currently, that's not good. I don't want any nukes to fly across. Oh, is that the first one that's died? Yes. Oh, no, that's the Netherlands that died. Never mind. Nothing too important. I thought one of these motherfuckers finally croaked. Not quite yet. Oh, for a second I thought maybe now. No, that's just Italy doing their shenanigans. How about now? Still not them. I don't want to promote the loyal. Some favoritism as a treat. I love that. We'll try to be principled about this. As much as we can. Germany intervenes now. That's not good. Well, it might be too late though. I feel like I'm getting crushed here all around. Like I don't fully understand what's going on. But I think with that, I will leave it off here for the day. Still got a lot of editing to do. Things are heating up, but at least in Africa we are winning. I'm both getting my ass kicked in here, but also feel like I'm winning. I did notice this liberal thing that I take, it's 21 days, so I probably should stop taking that one. Even though it's increasing our division, we do need to win these provinces. But that'll be for the next time. So I do hope you've enjoyed it. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you did. Hopefully I'll see you next time. And hopefully you have a nice day. Bye-bye.